Behind the Shades.
Don't even log into the dating apps because it's so easy,
Exactly.
right? Like I look at some of my female friends and many of them are divorced. Some have had relationships, some haven't, and some are just trying to make it work. And when they're bored or when they're looking for their fix, as they call it these days,
Yep.
they'll just go on the dating apps and just swipe,
Yep.
swipe, right? And I ask them the question, this person that you're going on this date with, do you see a future with them? They will say no. And then my follow up question, probably the same question you asked, then why are you entertaining this person?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they're like, Terrain, it's Christmas. It's
I'm
cold
bored. I'm
outside. I'm
lonely.
bored. I'm lonely. It's been 6 months since I did it.
Yeah.
Help a girl out,
Yeah.
right? How
Yeah.
do you speak to that demographic that it's
You
they
know,
don't necessarily miss the lifestyle or um the social value of being in a relationship. They just miss not having a bed that is cold night after night
exactly.
after night.
I think this has been a mystery to me. This has been an absolute mystery to me. Is, there's the old saying is like, you got to be whole first. And a relationship is actually the cherry on top. I really firmly believe that. Be whole. And that's where sort of my spiritual training in India did, is being able to meditate. I used to meditate in the caves for like 10 hours a day as just sitting with myself. And when you can learn to sit with yourself and you can be with yourself, there's something changes within you and you become a really, it's like you're satisfied, you're whole, you know who you are. There's something that shifts and you don't need, I don't want anyone to have to need a relationship to fulfill them, to be that extra, to give something inside. It's just an indication that you're not whole. I want you to be whole. And when you're whole, then you can date. And then you can be so much more choosing, as like it's the icing on the cake. My cake is full. you know it's a mystery to me. I can say it over and over again. You really need to do this work. I cannot stress it enough, because you're just wasting your time and time goes by too fast. And you can see relationships go from, so much investment. Oh, well, we'll live together, it'll be a year, but you've got furniture you've invested, you've got an apartment you've invested, and next thing you know, oh, it's split up in a year later, and now you've got to do this whole thing. It just, in today's time, it's just like, get it right. So I don't know. It's a mystery to me. I can keep saying it 1,000 times, but yeah, women, get and men, like, do your work. Really do your work. Get inside and just be full inside. Know who
You
you
know,
are.
Melanie, they're trying to have the cherry on top, the cake, and eat it too. They're trying to get it all out the way because it's there's that saying, right? The best way to get over someone is to get under someone, right? Sex is such like for so a lot of people, it's become like alcohol,
Yeah.
where I've had a rough day, so I'm just gonna be intimate with someone and forget my issues until you have the post, as I call it, you have the
Yeah.
post nut clarity, meaning that
Yeah.
after you've climaxed, after you've
Yeah.
orgasm, you look at the person, you're like, oh, that was a mistake. But you know next week you're gonna repeat that mistake,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And there's two things that I love to say. I call it, this is for the men, pre-nut delusion, which is as you're getting ramped up, you're like, okay, Melanie's, she's nice and she's talking to me this way. And,
Yeah.
I know that it's not going to go anywhere, but you've built it up in your mind, right? Similar to
Sure.
a lot of women who are more nurturing in their
Yeah.
personality, who's more wants to be around people, right? Who's more social, where a man can be by himself and still do his thing. Now you build that up and you engage in something that isn't really going to go anywhere, something that could be unhealthy. And then after it's done, the post nut clarity, you're like, what the hell did I do? I'm
Yeah.
still going to
Yeah.
be alone. This house is still as empty as it was. I still don't have any prospects in my dating roster, as they call it.
Hmm.
And I'm bringing all these different type of men around my kids, or I'm bringing all these different type of women around my kids.
Yeah.
What kind of example am I setting for them? Are these
Yeah.
some of the conversations that you have with the women that you're assisting with?
I do. And also there's another side to it too. It's a lot of people who get together sexually are actually avoiding intimacy. They don't think it's not going to turn out. They're trying to get to third base before doing all the work and discovering that this person is not the person that they want to be with. So there's a way of getting to third base real quick. Well, let's just have sex and we'll call that intimacy. And then all the falseness and all the illusion is built around. Because getting to know someone in a real way, you're going to have boundaries. You're going to say what you want, what you need. But it's just like, I just want to get to third base. I don't want to have to go through that work. For a lot of people, it's really hard for them to say, no, you're not quite working out for me. They just want to get that place right there. So it's a false sense of intimacy. And so a lot of people really think that this is what creates the intimacy. Not that they don't think it's going to last. I think they actually go in, a lot do, thinking, oh, this is going to tie the knot. I don't have to do any of the steps to get there. This just ties it. I'm done. Whew. Okay, now let's just play fantasy world. And of course, it tumbles down.
So are they using intimacy in a way to temporarily heal themselves from what they're experiencing?
No, I would say they're using it's a false sense of intimacy. Okay, real intimacy is I don't think sex is intimacy. I like to look at sex as an expression of the intimacy that you already have. Okay, when you already are intimate with someone and then an act of love is actually making love. Okay, you don't have sex to get love. That's the way I look at it. And that's how I would like to teach the women is sort of like, and the men too, if they would get that too, is that they're vulnerable, that they're open, and it's an expression of that love is so different than just body to body having sex. So
It's
different.
more than, yeah, it's more than just a rumble in the jungle,
Exactly. Exactly. And
right?
there's nothing wrong
It's
with that too if you already have that. But I'm just saying a lot of it's falsified. A lot of women think, and I'm not just going to say women, I'm going to say men too, but being a woman, okay, and talking and working with a lot of women, think that it's getting to third bay real quick, and all of a sudden, we've had sex, we're in love. And then outcome, unbeknownst to the man, is all the conditions that are met. It's like, holy smokes, now I'm supposed to do this, I'm supposed to do that, and vice versa. All the rules come in. And that's that part of the unconscious, because we have an unconscious idea of what we've seen in relationship. And once a couple comes together, it's like, now we're married. All of a sudden, we take on these roles that you never saw. Now we're boyfriend, girlfriend. So our roles unconsciously come in with the titles that we give ourselves. Now that we've made love, whoa, here comes all the unconscious expectations and the ways that it's supposed to be.
I spoke to a sexual coach, not for me, everyone who's watching. But, and she works with women and men. And she made the joke that a lot of women, after they've had a good night of passion, they feel like they're married to these men. Right. And I look back at some of the women that I've dated, and they did exactly what you said. They tried to resolve whatever conflict there was through
Yeah.
sexual means.
Yeah.
And it made them feel empowered for that night, 2 nights, whatever the
Exactly.
case is. But
Yeah.
then afterwards, when big bad terrain will come around and say, hey, do you want to talk about the problem that we had last week? It's always, well, and then they try to bring sexual conversations again, or try to
Yeah.
be intimate, or false sense of intimacy. So how can we define what healthy intimacy looks like versus what false intimacy looks like?
I would say it is being authentic, absolutely real. It's being honest, even if your partner doesn't want to hear what you have to say. Of course, there's always the ways to say it, but I think it's about being transparent, about being authentic by being able to share your journey. Where even though you can be in the same room together, you're sharing, oh, when this happens, I feel this. Like there's real communication going on. Oh, when you do this, this makes me feel. How can we work through this? Or however it be that you're totally open and transparent. That's what I'm saying is true intimacy. But you have to be intimate with yourself first. You have to know who you are. You have to know what you're feeling, and you have to be able to express what you're feeling. So a lot of people don't even know what they're feeling until it gets so big. So it has to get so big. Okay, now I'm angry. But all along there was this rumble but they're not even aware of it. So you have to become intimate with yourself. What am I thinking? What am I feeling? What's going on in my body? And that's where all my yoga teacher training and everything else came into. It's like, what's happening inside? Become intimate with yourself. How am I responding to this? How am I reacting to this? And then I can share this with my partner, unreserved. Okay, feeling totally safe to do so. To me, that is the ultimate intimacy. When you've got a partner in crime, you're willing to share your journey. You're willing to share all your stuff. It's but you're taking responsibility for it. I also don't want to make sure you don't want to share all your stuff and just vomit it on them, and it's like there's a whole bunch that goes into that. But when you're willing to share that in a real I'm taking responsibility for what I'm feeling. I'm not blaming you for what I'm feeling. I'm just sharing you what's going on. That to me is absolute intimacy. Yeah.
So what would we do if that type of intimacy is one-sided, meaning that it's me, I'm trying to have that type of intimacy, but the person is not receptive?
Then get out. Or I think, gosh, how would you answer that? Oh, I would almost say, I don't think it can, if you're intimate with yourself, you already know that. Does that make sense? You would already know that your partner's not there. And then you got to ask yourself, why do I want to be in a relationship where my partner is not there? Now, there's always a time, are they open to getting there? There's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely. Are you open to getting there? And then you say, well, if they are, and each step is you find some progress in that way. But if it doesn't get there, then the first intimacy comes with yourself. I'm feeling this. I'm aware. Do I want to keep with this, or what do I want? What do I need?